What's up, everyone? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another MLB Recap. Yesterday, we saw two studs take no-hitters into the 6th inning of last night's Braves and Mariners game. The Brewers manager got ejected after he said umpires screwed them out of a big-time run. Minnesota has a magical sausage. I don't know what I just said, but it's real, and the magical sausage is here to stay. Elly, Cruz, and Henderson, they're both playing like MVPs, and the Nationals, that Juan Soto trade is looking like the best return package in quite some time. All of that and more in today's MLB Recap. We post these every single day. We have not missed one this season, so do me a favor, join the team. And don't forget to use code Fuzzy on SeatGeek to save 20 bucks off all of your tickets. And also, my code on Underdog Fantasy will get new users up to a $100 deposit match. They got baseball, basketball, any sport that you can think of. Hit that link below, and they got it. So this first game was basically Stanley Yelnats and his best friend in holes, zero. Just zero after zero after zero. Bryce Miller and Max Fried, they were absolutely unreal. Miller, he at one point set down 15 in a row. He had a perfect game through 5. Max Fried, he was just as good. He had a no-hitter through 5. Unfortunately, Miller, he walked Travis d'Arnaud to ruin the perfect game, but he got Kelenic to roll over for a double play. So even though the perfect game is gone, he's gone 6 no-hit frames. Ronald, he got the first base hit for either team because Max Fried, he's out after 6 no-hit. They took him out. Pierce Johnson, we'll talk about him in a second. Ronald, he stole second. He then stole third. I love the new rules. The fact that we have multiple guys on pace to steal 80-plus bags, it's so much fun. Ozzie now has a 12-game hit streak after that RBI double. Bryce Miller goes from having 6 no-hit frames to, in the blink of an eye, losing. Pierce Johnson, he kept the no-hit streak alive for the Braves. That's 7 no-hit innings. We're in the 8th now. Josh Rojas, who has been probably the hottest hitter for the Mariners this year, he broke the code. It's just that J-Rod could not clutch up, and neither could Mitch Haniger. It's still 1-0 Braves in the 9th, but the Mariners have another guy named Mitch Garver. He's been awful this year, so he really needed that to be back in good graces with the fans. That is a walk-off bat flip. We know that Mitch Garver is one of the best hitters in the game. We saw what he did in the playoffs last year for the Rangers, but unfortunately for the Mariners, their history and track record of getting new players has not been that great, so hopefully Mitch Garver can kind of reverse the curse. Here we go, one of the most important series of the entire year. I'm not even being dramatic. Henderson, he knew and he made some history on that swing. He's the youngest player ever to have 10-plus home runs before the month of May. He still has today to try and add to it. Don't forget the 6 stolen bases and unreal defense. Grayson Rodriguez, he stepped up as well. He struck out Juan Soto in the 5th with a runner on, and then he got Judge to fly out. Obviously, he's hyped up. Clark Schmidt, the Yankees starter, he was trying his best not to implode. He's awful the 3rd time through the order. But hey, shout out to Aaron Boone. He trusted his pitcher, and it paid off. Gunnar, he missed it. He dropped his PCI. Now we're in the 6th. That was it for Grayson. He was out. Glaber, his single knocked him out the game, but luckily, the pen and Ryan Mountcastle had Grayson's back. As Waldo Lace went the other way, Mountcastle, he smothered it, and that ends the frame. Schmidt, he's still out there fighting for his life, but not really, because he strikes out Anthony Santander. He was pleading to stay in. Boone took him out this time. Dennis Santana got it done. So we have back-to-back games where there was almost no offense, but there's a run. The 2023 Gold Glover had a rare error, Anthony Volpe. Ultimately, that extra run didn't mean anything because Danny Coulomb, he gets the save before New York could even score 1. Both teams, the Yankees and the Orioles, are now tied for first place in that division. I told you, this is a very important series. We have another tight division race, the NL Central. The Cubs, the Brewers, and the Reds are all fighting for that top spot. The Cubs and the Mets game was a lot like the Braves and the Mariners, except for the fact that Brandon Nimmo went yard in the 1st, but that was really the only difference. Jameson Taillon, he was great after that, but not as great as Sevy. Sevy had a no-hitter through 5, make it 6 after he sawed off Nico Horner to end the 6th inning. Luis got into a little bit of trouble in the 7th because even though the no-hitter is still intact, he hits Mike Tauchman. Ian Happ, he drilled one to Pete Alonso. Pete, he stopped it, stepped on the back for the out. Christopher Morel, he tried to go full MLB The Show and bloop one in. Tauchman for sure thought it was going to drop, so he's halfway to home. He gets doubled off. And would you look at that, Sevy, he had the longest no-hit performance of the entire day. 7 no-hit frames. And again, tip of the cap to Taillon, who did his absolute best to keep it 1-0. Sevy, he started to show some arm fatigue. He walked Michael Busch, and then Dansby, he broke his bat, and he breaks the no-hitter all on one swing. It's ruined. I'm sad. Lead is now being threatened, and Luis got Matt Mervis to hit a ground ball. They tried for 2, and Mervis's, I guess, thigh or something hit Luis's funny bone. Sevy, he stays in there, and that lead runner is actually going to score on another double play that could not get turned. I don't know why Joey Wendell did not throw home. The guy was out by 10 steps, so I'm going to blame that on Joey Wendell. Pete Crow Armstrong, he flied out, so a standing O for Luis. That is Severino's best start in 4 or 5 years, I would say. The trumpet started playing, so that means it's Edwin Diaz time, but Mike Tauchman, he smoked a huge double, and Morel, he smoked a huge home run. Bill Murray was in attendance. He was happy. Morel, he spun the bat. The closer for the Cubs, Hector Neris, he's now in a lot of trouble. Multiple base runners on, and Brett Beatty, he's got some serious pop, but it doesn't matter if you have a lot of pop if you just don't hit it. That's his 4th save of the year. The Cubs, they beat the Mets 3-1. We've been seeing so many blowouts lately, so we were due for a bunch of low-scoring games like these. There was 1 run total in this entire next game. That's it. That's literally it right there. The Rays won on an RBI double play. Ron Pepio, he was just way too good. Milwaukee had no chance. He allowed 1 run through 5 shutout, but in the 6th, things got a little bit scary. Joey Ortiz, he managed to get on. He's at 2nd. Now he's at 3rd because Pepio spiked a changeup. It's okay, though, because I already told you who won. Wait, did I lie to all of you? We're about to see some huge drama and controversy because Jason Adam, he was out there for the save. Frelick, he made things fun because he smokes a leadoff double. And then Adam, he walked Contreras probably to set up a force out, but there goes the force outs. Sal Frelick, he stole 3rd. William, he stole 2nd, and a base knock would win it. Jason Adam threw a nasty frisbee to strike out Jake Bauers, but the ball gets away. Frelick, he's going to tie it up. Or is he? The umpire said because Jake Bauers hit Pinto on the backswing, that's interference, and Frelick has to go back to 3rd base. Milwaukee manager Pat Murphy, he's obviously ejected. He's got to kind of go out there and put on a show. Unfortunately, though, it did not work as Blake Perkins, he can't catch up to the 97 fastball. The Rays, they win 1-0. You thought I was about to lie to you. I don't do that. Just sometimes I do, actually. The last place Tampa Bay Rays, which is weird to say out loud, they pick up a huge W for not only their fans, but for Reds fans as well. Since he can now get to 1.5 games of Milwaukee, and all of you Elly haters got to be furiously punching air right now. He went 440 feet for his 8th home run along with his MLB best 18 stolen bases. Jerks, and Profar, he got that run right back. He's having a really good start to the year, 4 home runs and 19 RBIs. The Reds then stole their lead back as Santiago Espinal skied a sac fly off the knuckleballer Matt Waldron. I'm so happy that he's not doing well because I do not need a diamond Waldron in MLB The Show. Martini scores, and then Waldron, he didn't help himself. They called him on a balk. They said that he did not come set, so a run scores. Spencer Steer, he roped an RBI extra base hit. That is his first extra base hit in a few weeks. He hit so many early on in the season, he was bound for some regression. Lodolo, he's as nasty as it gets. You wouldn't think so after his 2023 campaign, but he showed off all the stuff in this one. Nick had 10 strikeouts through 6, and at one point, he set down 17 in a row, make it 18 in a row. That's 11 strikeouts over 7 innings of one-hit baseball. I'm really happy that he's healthy. He has an 11.6 strikeouts per 9 in his first 4 starts and a 1.8 ERA. Santiago wants his 2nd RBI. The Reds are going to challenge Tatis, and that wasn't the best throw, even though he has a cannon, and neither was this one. Elly threw it like 900 miles an hour, so the tying run is now at the dish. Alexis Diaz, he says, yeah, I got this. He put the team on his back. He strikes out Ha-Seong Kim. Ball game. The Padres are now 4 games under 500. The Reds, they're 3 games above 500. The Padres have now lost 5 in a row, and the only other streak that's worse than theirs belongs to the Miami Marlins. Alex Call, he's in there for the injured Joey Gallo. He makes a nice play to rob Nick Gordon, and then we have some more Alex Call action. He gets a free double because Jesus Sanchez took his sweet time, and the worst part about this, Tim Anderson, he got hurt on the play. It should have been completely avoided. Jesus Sanchez then got benched. It just gets worse and worse for the Marlins. CJ Abrams, he's insane, like actually insane. He's at 7 home runs. He's on pace for 45 home runs and 38 stolen bases. Jazz Chisholm, he's kind of on the same pace right now. He got 2 RBIs on 1 swing. He has 6 RBIs over his last 24 hours. His swing is a thing of beauty. Like, look at that swing. Washington, they got the scoring going again. This time, CJ used his legs. He scores right there. Joey Meneses and Ildemaro Vargas, they team up to drive in even more. Meneses on that double. Vargas, I think he scores Meneses on the single. The Nationals, they sweep Miami. They've won 4 in a row. Miami, they've now dropped 7 games in a row. Now, before we move on and talk about the magical sausage in Minnesota, we got to talk about this Juan Soto trade because CJ Abrams has matched Juan Soto with 7 home runs. He also has a 1.4 F4 already. Mackenzie Gore was also traded to the Nationals. He's been striking out everyone. He's down to a 3.1 ERA. James Wood, he destroyed spring training. He's destroying AAA right now. And Robert Hassel, he looks like a future star as well. I'm going to say this right now. This Juan Soto for Hassel, Wood, Mackenzie Gore, and CJ Abrams could be the best return package for a superstar since Cleveland got Cliff Lee, Grady Sizemore, and Brandon Phillips all in one trade for Bartolo Colon back in the day. That's a lot of depth for one guy. So the White Sox are coming off a surprising sweep of the Rays, but the Twins, they are riding a 7-game win streak, so someone is going to have their streak snapped, and it was Bring Your Dog to the Park Day, so I'm already in a better mood, and yes, that is a pug wearing a Snoop Dogg hat. At first, it looked like the Twins were going to be stopped dead in their tracks. Nicky Lopez, he was flying as Andrew Vaughn crushed an RBI double. Joe Ryan allowed 4 consecutive hits to start the game, so Eloy, he's going to get an RBI on that double play. Now, good for Ryan. He was able to work out of that jam. He only allowed those 2 runs in that first inning. The White Sox, they found out quickly, you do not mess with the sausage. Carlos Santana cannot be stopped. Their home run celebration is quite literally a package of sausage, like a straight up packaged sausage that is now probably moldy and would stink immensely if you open it up. It's now 2-2, trouble for Minnesota in the 8th, and Griffin Jax, he's been pretty bad against Eloy Jimenez throughout his career, but he got him right there. That keeps it tied, and the Twins, they decided to stop playing with their food. Buxton, he cruised into second with a double. That's just the third base hit of the day for the Twins. There's number 4. Kepler drove in Buxton, and it's always a little bit worrisome to see Byron Buxton slide. I winced a little bit, and I'm happy that he's healthy and he didn't explode. Here comes the White Sox, though, as Grossman, he blooped in a single to right. Danny Mendick, he motors to third, but for the first time in 13 years, Minnesota has won 8 in a row. Caleb Thielbar, he earned his second save. The Twins, they just can't lose right now. The Royals are on a mini skid. They've lost 2 in a row after starting 17-10. Things were looking up in the first. Nelson Velasquez, he got help from Addison Berger not just once, but twice. Barger can't make the initial play. The run scores. Then he throws it away. Nelson's going to get to third, so that sets up an opportunity for Michael Massey to drive him in. It's 2-0 Royals, and they let someone's grandfather tie it. The 62-year-old Justin Turner tied it on his 3rd home run of the year. Then he popped off for his 2nd of the night. He's actually 39 years old, but what he's done in the second half of his career is basically unprecedented for people who have not had a balanced breakfast. He's hitting 290 with a 130 OPS plus since turning 30 years old. The Blue Jays, they were not done with the pop. It's Danny Jansen night. Everyone got glasses and jerseys, and Jansen gave one a ride, his 2nd of the year. Both teams traded a few runs, and then Kyle Isbell, he popped off for his 3rd home run of the year. It's back to a 1-run game after 6. The heavens might have opened in Toronto. Vladdy, he pulled a ball that wasn't pounded into the dirt. Earthworms across America are rejoicing if Vladdy is now actually lifting baseballs. Barger, he's going to score from first. Nate Pearson, he's trying his best Craig Kimbrell impression. And Kansas City, they risked it. They sent out Salvi as a pinch hitter. And if he gets out, his 19-game on-base streak is snapped. But he singles. The runner now gets to third base. Nate Pearson, he eventually got Massey to go down swinging. Just his 2nd career save. The Royals, they've lost 3 in a row now. So the Angels just had their 2nd team meeting. Is it going to work again? I mean, this is as bad as it gets early on. The bases are loaded and nobody's out for Alec Boehm. And you can't get this dude out with runners in scoring position. You might as well walk him because he's got a 13-game hit streak. He's hitting over 460 with runners in scoring position. Marsh, he's facing off against his former team. He plays Harper on a sac fly. And wait, whoa, is the awakening happening? Is it happening? Joe Adell has 4 home runs, 5 stolen bases. He's hitting over 330, and the strikeouts are down by 17%. The Halos got 1 more run after Adrianza singled, so it's 3-2. It's still 3-2 in the 5th. Trey Turner, he's at first. Canning, he was very worried about Trey stealing, so he picked off twice. Then he tried a 3rd time. He forgot that if you don't get a runner out on the 3rd disengagement, it is a box. So not only does Trey get to advance, but Schwarber is going to walk home because he gets to score. Logan O'Hoppe, he's also facing his former team. If you don't remember, he came on over in the Brandon Marsh trade. He put it in play, and then the Angels said, "We're all in this together." I'm so sorry, but yes, that is a High School Musical reference because Cole Tucker is married to Vanessa Hudgens, and he just tied it. Good for him. Now that your ears are done bleeding, chaos is about to ensue. Trouty, he stole his 6th bag, so runners are now at 2nd and 3rd. Adrianza, he scores on the wild pitch. Trout was moving, and he kept on moving because the ball was thrown away. The Angels, they go up 1, and would you look at this? Marsh, he's up as the go-ahead. Harper's at 2nd base, and he strikes out. Light up the halo. Estevez now has 5 saves on the year. The team meeting, it worked again. Arizona might need one of those team meetings soon because it's getting bad down there. They lost their lead after Hernandez smoked a double. Teoscar, he scored easy, and staying with Teoscar, he stepped up with the bases loaded after Sal Frank walked 3 straight. There's another extra base hit. 2 score for Teo, and then Andy Pajes, who already had an RBI on a sac fly earlier. He sent one down the left field line with the bases loaded. He has saved the Dodgers outfield. He has 7 extra base hits and 8 RBIs in his first 47 at-bats. No walks, though, so some are worried about his plate discipline. Arizona stole a few back after they loaded the bases up. Gino, he blooped one in, and Grichuk, he made it 6-4 on a long sac fly. It's back to a 3-run lead after Will Smith. He's just stupidly talented for a catcher, offensively at least. He's hitting 363. That's nearly 30 points higher than the Unicorn. I mean, there he is. Shohei's now hitting 341. Don't forget about the 7 home runs and 5 stolen bases. Evan Phillips, he has not allowed a run in over a month now, and he kept it that way in a non-save situation. Arizona is now 4-8 over their last 12. Corbin Carroll, he went 1 for 4, which raised his batting average to 191. Are the Diamondbacks going to be okay? or not. We saw a few bases loaded chances in that last game, and the Pirates and A's game was no different. Joe Boyle, he's in a heap of trouble, but when you throw 98 plus, you can get yourself out of jams. He got Jack Sawinski swinging. He's almost out of it, and ouch. So close to escaping the jam, but the ball gets away, a run scores, but only that one. So this is a game-time home run off the bat of Tyler Nevin, who has made me look real dumb because I basically said that he sucks. He's hitting .340 with 3 home runs over his last 13 starts. Skipping to the 4th, Shea, he put a charge into one. Taylor, he tracks it down, but it's a go-ahead sac fly. The A's kept the sacrifice thing going. There's one more off the bat of Max Schumann, that's a sac fly. Nick Allen, he laid down a sac bunt in the 5th. Esty, he then drove one deep. It bangs off the wall, and Daryl Hernandez is going to score it easy. He does not score without that bunt. More sacrifice coming. Este, he turned on the Jets. He steals 3rd. And Nevin, he got a 2nd RBI of the night because that's Oakland's 3rd sac fly of the game. And check out this graphic on the screen. The A's, they got their 13th win in June of last year, and they're already at 13, and it's not even May yet. They're 11-10 over their last 21 games. By the way, I like that starter a lot, Joe Boyle. He walks a zillion, but when he's right, he's nasty. His 3rd start of the year with 5 innings with 1 earned run or fewer allowed. That does it for today's recap. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, do me a favor, leave a like, send it to a friend. We're on the road to 500,000. See if they'll subscribe. But aside from that, enjoy the web gems.
Takes over. Hit hard. Demo smothers, gathers, throws. Got him. Nice strike.
Pitch on the ground. Third base spinning and firing is Machado.
2 is grounded towards short. Backhanded by Newman. Pops to his feet and the throw in